What up? Another training hike here, and nicer day today. Yeah, it's nice. I'm in Tennessee, so not even the East Tennessee where the mountains are. But this place is pretty cool. You get a couple hundred vertical feet, and Anyway, that's not all that I do because I have the big pack. So there's no way by the end of May I'm going to be hauling around like a really heavy backpack and thinking that this little short hike at the couple hundred vertical feet is going to be enough to prepare. It's definitely not. So yeah, I've had this really bad fatigue issue for 10 years, and it's not that it's so bad. It's just your body gives you signals that can kind of make you do the wrong thing. So like it started out where, well, I guess before I get into that, I just wanted to say that there's a lot of research out there that chronic fatigue is mostly a lack of fitness that's exacerbated by the fact that inevitably your fitness gets worse the worse your fatigue is. Anyway, so it started like 10 years ago. I thought I was invincible, and I was working like crazy, starting all these new projects online, and I thought I was a badass. Like, I'd just lock in, put on some dead mouse or something, and then I would just work in a super focused state on the computer, and sometimes, like, I was living in Florida. I didn't want to be there, as I've talked about in other videos, and just kind of trapped there. So I was like, well, I guess I'll just use this time to build an empire. I don't know, make some money. I don't know, mess around on the internet seemed like the best thing to do. So sometimes I put in like 12, 13-hour days. Sometimes I go all the way till the sun came up, and I was like, oh, I guess I better head to bed. Well, anyway, I just had one of those days, and and I woke up the next day, and I went out on a run in the hot sun, and then I went and lifted weights, and I was feeling incredible, man. I was like, man, I haven't felt this good in so long. Well, sometimes when you feel really good, it's because the stress hormones are surging through your veins. Anyway, I went out to eat at a restaurant and had breakfast at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah, it sounds pretty stupid, but as soon as the bread and the Coke or Sprite or whatever I was drinking hit the portal vein, like, I just felt like sounded like I was drowning, and my left arm was hurting, and I was like, dude, this is it, like, I'm having a heart attack, which just made me way more scared and nervous and accelerated my descent into unconsciousness. So that's how it all started. Yeah, so then I just became sensitive to all forms of exertion, mental, physical. I'd get going a couple hours or so doing something, and then I'd get lightheaded, dizzy, maybe that shoulder would start hurting a little bit again, and I just had to stop. I had to rest and relax. And sometimes, if I did it hard enough, I would need like literally days of just totally vegging out to recover. And then as soon as I recovered, I thought, okay, I didn't get any work done. Didn't get any exercise done. I've been lazy. I got to go out and make up for lost time, So you can see how you just continue to get into this cycle where you repeat this again and again and again and again. Well, I never felt tired, So the diagnosis of chronic fatigue never really seemed to fit. But I looked into it more, and definitely this thing called Postexertional Malaise, or PEM, and that's me to the letter. So yeah, post-exertional malaise. I think it's Pacific University where they've done a lot of research into this, and people who have post-exertional malaise, where they just feel really ill after exerting themselves. It could be mental, physical, or both. I'm definitely both. Same symptoms, same problems from overexerting myself in any way. They found that you can exercise your way out of this. And that what really differentiates people who have PEM from regular people is that, if you keep exercising them, they keep getting worse and worse and worse. Like their athletic performance drops. Whereas a normal person's gonna, you suit them up and do a VO2 max test or whatever. You bring them back in the next day and they're gonna be able to hit the same numbers. Somebody with PEM, they're gonna see those numbers drop significantly. And so the key is, according to the researchers, is to do a lot of exercise at a low heart rate and always take days off. What I found, anyway, before I continue talking about what I think is a possible cure for fatigue and post-exertional malaise, I feel like post-exertional malaise is not really anything special. Like, you exert yourself and you get tired. Maybe you don't feel well the next day, sleep well, headache, soreness. I mean, these things are maybe even dizziness, drop in body temperature. I noticed my temperature was almost 2 degrees below normal the other day during recovery from my last bout of exercise. So, I don't think it's abnormal. I mean, I think that's normal, and I think you can train it. I think that's what kind of differentiates a fit person from an unfit person. And I think my physical fitness was actually a big contributing factor to losing my stress tolerance, or whatever you would call it, where, concentrating really hard and working really hard for a long period of time started to make me feel extremely ill. And, to some degree, like, I just kind of burn out my nervous system. But, I made the mistake of kind of catering to that weak nervous system by going really easy on myself for a long time. Sleep as late as I want to every day, and I don't, didn't exercise for long periods of time at all. Didn't work much. I mean, got my work day down to like an hour. So that enabled me to feel great because I'm not exerting myself. I'm not doing the thing that makes me feel ill, that gives me quote unquote malaise. But how you doing there, honey? I got some steps here, as you may be able to see behind me. We're doing it. But yeah, the key is to exert yourself, experience malaise, and then when you go back to do it again, if you do it methodically with a proper rest schedule, I would say the rest schedule is determined by your body. So once you fully recover, then you go and exert yourself again. Ideally methodically doing a little bit more than you did the last exercise session in some way, right? And this is nothing special. That's basic fitness 101 and how it works. You work your body, you rest and allow your body to make adaptations to be better prepared to do it again. Then you go to do it again, and you're stronger than you were the time before, and boom. You rinse and repeat that again and again and again, hundreds of times, and you're physically fit and your malaise is lessened. My goal now, I'm going out and working, basically as hard as I can, doing like 2 hours of exercise. Last time I did this hike, went home, did some like circuit training style weightlifting kind of, and then went and did another walk, a up another hill. I didn't make it very far before I kind of reached my my obvious endpoint. I was like, whoa, not feeling right here. But I came back and it's taken me 5 days. I had 5 rest days to recover for this, which is ridiculous, but you know, that's just the way it is. Your body determines that. And my goal is to do a little bit more exercise, you know, increase my work capacity while slowly decreasing the malaise that I experience, you know. I monitor my sleep and body temperature loosely, you know, not obsessively, but I keep tabs on that, you know. This time I was cold for like 2 days, which, you know, I know what that means. That's that stress up, metabolism down. It's kind of the body in shock. But yeah, I hope to go to 4 days of rest and then 3 days of rest. And eventually by May, I'm shooting for being able to do, you know, 2 or more hours of vigorous activity every other day. And then I hope that can be, by the end of May, a springboard into doing vigorous exercise every day. I don't know if I'll get there or not, but I believe in the process. And I think it's going to work well. I've already had, you know, over the last year or two, just kind of doing this, you know, without too much intent. You know, my fitness level has improved. My work capacity has improved. I can do more mental work. You know, it was down to like half an hour. I couldn't even read a book. You know, now I do 3 hours of Spanish a day, and I can still work a couple hours a day. You know, so I'm doing 4 or 5 hours of mental work. A lot of it's passive, not super active. You know, most of my Spanish is like watching TV or something. Like, it's not hard, but I'm reading for over an hour a day, getting plenty of work done, and I can do way more physically. And now I'm just trying to, you know, be a lot more intentional and systematic about it. And yeah, we'll see if it pays off, but that's the game plan as of now. Always subject to change if I'm not seeing that happening, right? But you know, you hear stories about people with serious fatigue and post-exertional malaise where they can't even like fold the laundry, and that, you know, they're wiped out for like a week or two. You know, I was really close to that point. So, you know, it's just a matter of, you know, exerting yourself, doing whatever, you know, you really wish that you were able to still do. For me, it's hiking for sure. And then, you know, you deal with whatever aftermath comes the best you can. Reach full recovery, go do it again, try to do a little more, and monitor your malaise. You know, if you're seeing a little bit less malaise than the last workout, you know you're doing something right, and it's just a matter of following that path where it leads. Any sign of progress at all, you just got to follow it, and it may take years before you're back to your normal self, or you may never get all the way back to normal, but who knows? You may surprise yourself and find that, you know, this debilitating fatigue is something you can literally, you know, exercise your way out of. That's what I'm trying to do. So anyway, that's it for today. Catch you again soon.